Welcome to Behind the Berry, sponsored by Modexis, where you'll get to know the brand behind these world-class innovative supplements formulated by science with you in mind. You'll meet our people, the founders of Modexis and members of our Product Research Council. You'll also hear about our amazing products through stories from our customers of overcoming health challenges. They're not just surviving, they're thriving. Modexis is the leader in bringing you the world's first family of innovative natural nutrition, powered by the elite superfruit, Lonicera cerulean. Our products are non-GMO, gluten-free, and made right here in the USA with no preservatives. They're 100% natural, so you can feel good about taking them and sharing them with your family. And learn just how easy it is to become an affiliate with Modexis and gain financial prosperity just by sharing Modexis with the people you love. Now let's jump into this week's episode of Behind the Berry. Hey guys, it's Brittney. Welcome to a new episode of Behind the Berry, sponsored by Modexis. Today I have with me my friend Mark Staskus. Hey Mark, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Brittney?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for joining me. I got to meet you and hear a little bit of your story a couple months ago, and we followed each other on Facebook and both live here locally, but finally got to connect over Modexis recently. And it's just been so awesome to get to know you and hear your story. And I really wanted everyone else to learn about you and hear your story as well. So really appreciate you jumping on with me today and doing that. Let's start off by congratulating you. It is your 10-year anniversary of, I think, as you put it, kicking cancer's butt. Or crushing cancer, I think is how you said it. And I would love to hear a little bit more about that and just your story. Kind of share with people a little bit who you are, Mark.
Okay, so we always like to celebrate milestones, but yeah, this is my 10th year of crushing cancer. Chemo, radiation, 2 surgeries, reversed the bag, turned down chemo, and took my port out all in a 6-month period. A few months later, I had a cortisone shot for a frozen shoulder, and my body went haywire. I was crippled. I couldn't open a refrigerator. I couldn't open bottled water. I wore oven mitts on my hands so the cats wouldn't even hurt me while I slept. Nothing could touch my hands. They were so sensitive. In a couple of weeks, I had joint erosion on my foot. So it was like living through hell. My prayers were, "Take me, I'm yours." He said, "No, I got bigger things for you." And he said, "I gave you everything on this earth that you need to heal. I'm your healer." I said, "No, he gave me a smartphone." So I had to become a biohacker. At the same time, I went to like 13 doctors, 13 days. No one could help me. And I heard the best words you could ever hear from your doctor. "You graduated. I can't help you anymore." So, I knew I was on my own, but I had my phone, and I had pretty good background, just with a broad base of knowledge about a lot of things, biology and stuff. I even made C in biology in college. So I was okay. I was surviving for a couple of years. Then one of my wife's clients, Milan, she's a registered nurse, and she had some medical device, a muscle stimulator that allowed me to prosper my life, get my life back. I was even competing dragon boat paddleboard. It was Team Crush. It was a cancer survivor team, and that's where we all crushed it. So it was always great to have the supports. I have a few support teams, and I was working out at the YMCA for balance, range of motion, just stuff like that. And I was working out with the silver sneakers. And I kept getting better and better. And then next thing I was like, wow, what happened to you? And I haven't stopped living. I mean, we celebrate everything, celebrate milestones. Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. Well, congratulations. That's huge. 10 years. I love how you said you got your C in college, but you had your phone. And, sometimes technology is like a blessing and a curse, right? And
Right.
be able to have that, supercomputer in your pocket and be able to start learning so much. That's really awesome. Tell me a little bit about what you learned. As we were talking earlier, you mentioned something
Yeah.
about being drawn to purple things. And
Yeah.
so I'd love to
Well,
hear that.
and just starting from scratch. I mean, I open up my refrigerator and I'm like, oh, um, cucumber, lemon. I try to drink cucumber water, lemon water when I first wake up. Drank a lot of water. I went through liver failure, so.
Mm,
But the color purple, tart cherry juice was one of my go-tos. That actually was a savior in my life. So I learned all the polyphenols and flavonoids. I learned all that nine years ago. Red cabbage. I even wrapped my joints with red cabbage. I mean, every joint was swelled up in my body, massive inflammation. And
wow.
so I was just drawn to the purple, and just every day I would have a goal of doing three things. It may be walking to the mailbox, doing a little laundry, but I just wanted to do three things, and just try to move forward. And just it was a lot of baby steps, but learned a lot along the way. Learned stuff I never even would imagine to learn. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. So you said you had liver failure too. So you've been dealing with a lot of health issues. Was inflammation the one of the main things that you struggled with?
correct. Yeah, my C-reactive proteins were double digits. High inflammatory markers. I was peeing orange. But doctors kept giving me more medicine, uh, medicine induced, liver issues.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the most painful thing going through. I think after chemo, everything's magnified by 10 for me. That's what it just seems. So there was nights where it was just mercy, mercy. I mean, just screaming every night. And then I would almost have a normal life about 6 p.m., 7 p.m., and then go back to bed and wake up the next morning. Same routine. And I was going through physical therapy for my shoulder, for the frozen shoulder, and that really helped me along the way. I mean, I'd be in there with a walker trying to get in, and they'd look at me like, "Oh, how are you doing? Oh, you're here for your shoulder," you know. But yeah, I fought through it, and luckily, I never quit, and that's one of the main things is survivors don't quit. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good stuff right there. That's a great little nugget for this. I hope everyone kind of walks with that, if nothing else. That's really good.
Yeah.
Well, so is that what led you to Modexus? Is it the longevity obviously is like our flagship product. It helps a ton with inflammation, but also relieve as well. Our pain reliever. Were those the first that you started with, or how did your Modexus journey start?
Well, um, fast forward, and I was doing really well, and I got a new oncologist. My old one retired, and my new oncologist asked me, "How did I get cancer?" I'm like, "Well, that's $1 billion question, doctor." I never look back. We always look forward. But now I was doing better. And then there was by chance, random piece here, random piece there. But I found out a common genetic mutation that I possess. And we struggle with methylations and glutathione as well. So I was
Mm,
on glutathione products. Last year, trying to be optimal, when my chiropractor, she had me on 40 some pills. That's just too many. That's overwhelming me. It's like I can't. I don't take that many. Um, and not that I'm against supplements. It was just overwhelming. I'm not going to remember when to take it or even be organized.
right.
So I was actually on glutathione products, just testing out waters randomly. Uh, I was so close. And Lori been screaming about how she had success with her children, and Dr. Rouse was speaking 2.5 hours away. And that's one thing I've learned is I went to a lot of in-person meetings the last few years. Every every time I could hear a naturopath, a doctor speak, I mean, I've got to listen to some of the amazing doctors from around the world speak, conferences. I've been microcirculation events, as I go on. So my undergraduate was in statistics. So that's right up my alley. I like the research. I like the science, the real science.
Yeah.
And so when Dr. Rouse, I said, well, at least they can't censor live events.
Hmm.
So I woke up that Saturday morning, drove 2.5 hours, and a lot of my friends like, "You driving 2.5 hours to hear a guy speak?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's probably important, and I need to ask him a few questions because, like I said, I'm really, really close to finding all the pieces. I just want to hear his expertise,
Yeah.
you know." And so when he was speaking, I was finishing his sentences. I mean, I knew exactly what he's talking about. So it all resonated instantly with me, which is really good because I'm usually the overthinker and it usually takes me a longer time to accept stuff. Yeah.
You're a bit of a skeptic, huh?
Yes, I'm very skeptical, but I'm open minded though.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So Dr. Charlie was there.
Yes.
He uh gave his spiel. What changed? Like, did you immediately jump into Modexis from there? Were you
Well,
kind of sold in the moment?
correct. Okay. So I found longevity. That was the supplement I was going to take. To me,
Yeah.
that was one of the best products I've ever seen, and it was clean.
Yeah.
It met all the criteria of what I would look for in a product.
Yeah.
And but as the business aspect of it, what drew to me was the rhythm.
Really?
Yes.
This is ironic. Okay, I remember you saying this at dinner, and I also was like, okay, please explain. So
Well, if you could solve all the ladies' issues, sign me up. No,
I love it.
and
That's
then
not your answer.
no, and then the other thing was um, in the new economy. I worked on a master's in applied economics, so I'm pretty good with numbers and finances and stuff like that. And so in
Hmm.
the new economy, we have Uber has no cars, Airbnb has no hotels.
Yeah.
Well, Mark has no rhythm.
Mark has no rhythm. I love it.
Yeah. So and the affiliate program, and even not 10 years ago, I'm going back. I think 16, 17 years ago, my wife, yeah, she owns a hair salon. And on her website, she became an affiliate with a company called Amazon. Imagine that, and she was affiliated with Ticketmaster, and it came in, it gave her some passive income. So
Yeah.
always looking for opportunity, always looking for passive income. I just thought that these products were unique, they were innovative, and I was like, let's run with it.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. So I love that. I love that you saw like a financial opportunity in it. I know for me, it took using the products to to really buy in. Like, I'm the type of person, I can't sell somebody something or, talk a lot about something that I think someone else should be using or try if I'm not personally using it. Now, while you can't, I guess you could use Rhythm if you wanted to, Mark, but I wouldn't suggest it. um, what products were you using? What results were you seeing? Um, Kind of, do you remember back when you first started using it? Kind of some of those things.
Well, and I'm more drawn to longevity. And it's the best nutrition. Again, the berries, the all that just resonated with me. And it's so easy. I wake up, take two in the morning. If I'm fighting some off, I'll take two later. But I'm like, I'm done. I'm not taking 20, 30, 40 pills like everybody
Yeah.
else is, and I know the story about the centramin plant in there. So we have all the minerals, trace minerals. We have the berries, the glutathione. Because of my genetic mutation, it's common. I mean, it's not mine, but because of the data that I know, my goal is to try to enhance my glutathione levels, and we're able to now, where 20, 30 years ago wasn't possible through an oral supplement.
Yeah.
At least with the world of supplements, we can control the dosing. Do I need more? Do I need less? But I'm pretty consistent. And it's what I've noticed is I've actually used. I've been on like 7 months. I've used 7 bottles, which is huge because how many times do you buy supplements and they just stack up, stack up, stack up, and like, well, I guess they're working because I never had to take them, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. I've used Lyft and Tranquilities. Um, I use Relieve as well, but I'm more sharing for people that's more in need. But I know that I need longevity. And what I noticed was more energy, which I struggle with some cellular energy anyway. That's been
Mhm.
my passion the last 7 years, always to increase my passive energy. So I have a good 12 to 14 hour day that I live a normal life or yeah.
Mm.
And I notice better elimination as well. Even I got some of the best stuff to detox, but nothing detoxes the way longevity.
Mm.
Yeah, because one of my mottos is the shins. Okay, the circulation, the hydration, and now I have the nutrition. You know.
That's awesome. You're doing a lot more than 3 things a day anymore.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's move a little bit away from the product itself and let's talk about how awesome you are as an affiliate in our program because in January of 2023, you were the top enroller in, I believe, the entire company. Is that true?
Yes,
That's
yes.
awesome. So,
Thank
how are
you.
you doing that? How are you enrolling so many people?
Well, it was the big orders. Um, uh, Thankfully, we had conventions in Orlando. Dr. Rouse came and even spoke, and that's where we had dinner the night before. But he was speaking at an autism event, but there was a health summit that was there. So we had like-minded people there.
Yes.
Yes, and
That's awesome.
I know the product in and out. It's just it's not none you memorize. You just know it. Learn it. And I'm able to connect with a lot of people with my story. I try to inspire, educate, and empower. It's amazing how we have the ability to just use our story to change somebody else's lives.
Yes.
Um, so I just share with the heart, and share from the heart. And it happened organically. And then 2 weeks later, we had another event, like a Freedom Health event, and just connecting with my story with other people. And next, is like they were buying massive orders for their family
Mm,
because when what glutathione is, it never really was bioavailable until now.
yeah.
And now it's so affordable. You're not spending a few $100 a week on a shot or anything. You
Right.
know, and and we're seeing great results.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing what the mutation is that you have in case there's somebody listening
Okay.
who's
Yeah.
curious?
So one of my rabbit holes a couple years ago was the MTHFR mutation. Um, Even when I was in my oncologist, I had a adverse reaction to a synthetic B shot, and I asked them. I was like, it was cyanocobalamin, synthetic B12, and I asked them, "How do you know you're not hurting me?" He's like,
Mm,
"What are you talking about?" I says, "What if I have this mutation?" He says, "Do you?" I says, "I probably do, but I've never been tested." So he ran the test, and sure enough, I was homozygous at a C677T. And there's studies of like Turkey professional soccer players with that same mutation versus a couch potato. Like, how do they know that professional Turkey soccer players, which one has what mutation? We're so far behind in America. All I hear is it doesn't matter, but it really does matter. And we have issues converting folic acid, which is synthetic B9, to folate. And
mhm.
so all the synthetic enriched grains, enriched breads, the cereals, the food, they have injected the synthetic B vitamins, and we're missing the enzyme to convert it.
Mm.
And so it's like, wow, there's something here. It's just now just using that knowledge. Um, and a lot of the things I noticed with the MTHFR mutation is the same list that's linked to low glutathione. And that's not a coincidence, so I was always looking for ways to enhance glutathione. And Cetria, believe it or not, was in one of my products, our reduced form from Penn State.
Okay.
That actually was in one of my products I was taking. It just wasn't a clean product.
Wow.
Wow, that's how close I was. But the synergy with Dr. Rouse with his knowledge helped big time, because makes sense to me. Yeah.
I love that. I love that you can speak so knowledgeably about the sort of scientific side of it. I am maybe sort of towards the other end of the spectrum, where I'm like,
But
it just works and I love it and it makes me feel good. And there might not be any scientific proof, but I feel it every day when I take it. And so like I know it's working because of the way I feel when I take it.
yeah, well, and there's even a video out there where Dr. Charlie talked about the half-life of NAC
Okay. Oh
versus
yeah.
longevity. So the old technology, the old way, we all knew, like, you would take NAC to try to enhance glutathione.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might do it for an hour or two. The
Hmm.
half-life isn't there. So, you take more, take more, take more.
Yeah.
And some people had better success than others, but Dr. Charlie, with the synergy, certain things we know that we get about 24 hours versus an hour or two. So that is huge in a therapeutic world.
Yes, that's so true. Well, and I think they shared something recently. You said you take longevity first thing in the morning. It made me think of something that I think Modexis shared this week, which was that your glutathione levels are actually at the lowest point at the beginning of the day.
They
So that's
are.
actually best for you to take it first thing in the morning. I would sometimes wait. Sometimes I like to eat before I take my vitamins, but now I'm like, I'm just going to take them first thing in the morning. So I love that they're also, we get emails, we get like little blips from Dr. Rouse all the time with lots of really, really good information, not only about our products, but about, the things that they do. I love that there's always this element of learning and sharing and digging a little bit deeper and sort of, asking hard questions and try to get results versus just,
Well, and
you know,
and I totally appreciate that, and we all appreciate that. Not that
yeah,
everybody's going to care or understand it, but it's like we gain this knowledge, but we got to share it. We got to help the others with the knowledge that we have, and sometimes it's planting seeds. Sometimes just um, leading by doing, and people start looking, and it's like, wow, I can do that too, and that's how I try to lead.
I love it. This
Yeah,
is
thank you.
excellent. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys liked Mark's story, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. And Modexis actually has a YouTube and Rumble channel as well. So go on over there and like and subscribe there as well. We look forward to being able to help you and answer any questions you might have about Modexis, especially if you're here in Florida. Mark and I, we're Central Florida peeps. We're right here. If you have questions, just reach out. We would love to help you in any way that you can. And like he said, it's really all about us sharing our stories and how these products have just immensely enhanced our lives and the lives of the people that we love. And so we're not going to try to sell you anything. We're just going to share our story and hope that you'll join us on the Modexis family and just join us along for the ride. So thanks again, Mark. I so appreciate you and have a great day. Hey guys, it's Brittney. Make sure to go visit modexus.com. That's MODEXUS.com to connect with an advocate for Modexis in your area. I'd also love it if you would like and subscribe to this channel as well as the Modexis channel. And be sure to hit the little notification bell so you know every time we post something new.